I think we're good. Hi. So today I thought I would do kind of a little get ready with me. I'm not going anywhere, but I've got some sewing to do and I just like getting dressed for the day most of the time. So hang out with me for a little while. So I pretty much do a really similar look almost every day. All right, so I'm gonna start with my makeup first. I always start with this moisturizer with SPF in it. It's SPF 40, and it's oil-free, which is nice because I'm kind of oily. So I'm still using my cold cream whenever I wear makeup, which is most days, and still loving it. My skin has been pretty darn good. So next, what I do is it's a little weird, but I take a corally lipstick. I put it right here because I've got just some bluish purple spots next to my eyes, and this helps cancel out that so that when I put my concealer on, it's not just a lighter bluish purple. So then I use my Too Faced concealer and I just put a little bit here. So then I take my Born This Way foundation. Shade is Snow. I really like this foundation. It's very blendable and it's medium to full coverage, but I like to use a dampened sponge and really blur it out. So there's my base. Then I take some powder. This is the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder in Translucent. And I just tap it and then set wherever I put the foundation, which is pretty much everywhere. I really like this powder. I've been using it for a while too. If I am going to be outside for any length of time, or if I have a full day where I need my face to be good all day, I'll bake it, which is really when you glob on a whole bunch of powder and you let it sit while you do the rest of your makeup. And that really does help to control oil and keep everything nice and sealed in place. But day to day, I don't do that because I'm not usually out in the heat all day. So next up, I do my blush, which is Cabana Boy from theBalm. theBalm is definitely one of my favorite makeup companies for sure. And this is a really pretty, very red purpley kind of blush. I've realized I can't really do peach colors. They don't look as good, I think, on me. I like to stick to the more red tones. And I put it kind of high up on my cheekbones. I found through a lot of trial and error that putting it right on the apples doesn't look good on me, so I kind of keep it up here. And then I take some bronzer. This actually is a Balm product, but it got all smushed up, so I repanned it. I can't remember what it was, but I really love this bronzer. It's definitely a more red tone because I can't put anything on that makes me look orange. I'm so pale, and I would say I'm kind of a neutral leaning cool. I have to have red tones or else it looks so fake on me. So I just put this bronzer kind of anywhere that I would get sunlight on my face if I, went to the beach or something, went outside. Really lightly go everywhere like that. And then I take this smaller brush and I do my nose. I only started doing this pretty recently, but I do like how it looks. So I take some on there and then I just do sides, top just a little. And this is kind of based a little on the on Pinup Palmer's makeup tutorial she did somewhat recently. She does a lot of contouring. I don't do nearly as much just because I think it's a little harsh for my face. I do like her techniques a lot. I'm putting it kind of everywhere on my nose except right here and on the tip. So then I take my powder brush again and I just blend this. It's hopefully not too harsh. Just kind of blend a little more. And then I take my highlighter, also theBalm, and I like to do these three I use the same brush. I just kind of equally dip into each one very lightly. Tops of my cheekbones, tip of my nose, top of my nose too. And then I kind of just really lightly just kind of go everywhere, just to kind of tie everything together, but it's not extreme. Now on to the eyes. This Too Faced Shadow Insurance has seen better days, and I know there's still product in there, and I keep just scraping every last little morsel out of here. You'd be surprised how much is still left in something you think is empty. But I only use the tiniest little bit, like 2 sesame seeds worth. And I just put it all over my lid. Got that in my eyelashes, dang it. Because I'm kind of oily, my eye makeup doesn't always last that well, but since I've been using a primer, it lasts so much better. So I've been using these 2 palettes. This is from theBalm, and this is from Cabana Boy. And I really, really love them both for different reasons. This one has a lot more shimmery colors, which I like shimmer, but I can't overdo it. So these are all matte. So I kind of start with this one, and then I add a little bit more shimmer, and I kind of go back and forth a little bit until I'm happy. But what I like to do is start with kind of a flatter brush and take this light color here. Just a color that's kind of close to your eyelid, a little bit lighter, like so. And I kind of go all the way up, bring it up. So it's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, but it's pretty close to my skin tone. So from there, I take a fluffy blending brush. This one is Morphe. I'm not a big brush person. I've only got a few. So then I take this kind of mushroomy kind of color right here, sort of like a warm, well, it's really a neutral kind of grayish taupe brown. And then this is a really good color for me for like the crease here. I like to build depth, and the best way to do that is start light and then go darker. Because if you just start putting dark on, it could be hard to blend, and it's harder to kind of fix if you add too much. Follow my natural crease. I really, really like that color. It's the perfect just shadow color. I know it is an eyeshadow, but it looks like shadowy. So then now I kind of just start adding a little bit more depth. I'll usually go and take like a little bit of this darker brown and a little bit of this darker brown and a little bit of this darker brown, and I just kind of just barely tap in there, and then I tap excess like that, and then I just start lightly building some more depth. I'm going to wipe off my brush so it's more clean, and then I'm going to kind of just blend it. It's looking pretty good. I don't want to go too dark because this is just a daytime look. So I'm gonna add a little tiny bit more of this dark warm brown here. Just tiny, tiny, tiny bit, just right. So I'm going to go over to this palette, and I'm going to go back to this brush here, this wider flat brush, and I'm going to go into these lighter 3 colors here, and I'm just going to mix the 3 on my brush. Just tap, 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 like I'm painting, and then tap off the extra, and then just sweep it. This really is just subtle. You're not even going to probably see a whole lot of change, but it's all about the subtle glam. Adds a little bit of reflectivity and more depth, more visual interest. So I'm going to go back with this fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into this darker, like purpley eggplant color up here. It's called Sexy. And I'm also going to go into the dark brown in the bottom corner. It's called Sleek, and just a tiny, tiny bit. Again, like these are really pigmented, so you have to have a light hand. and just put it in the corner right here. This purpley color is like one of my favorite eyeshadows, I think, ever. It's just, it adds tone without being too purple. Can add a tiny bit more of the purple. So before I do my eyeliner, I actually like to do, oh, I forgot. So I take the brush that just came with the palette and I go into this like bright white kind of pearly color, and I just put some right here, inner corners, kind of brighten up that area. It's a really good color for that. And then sometimes I even put some up here too on the brow bone, kind of make it pop a little bit more. Before I do my eyeliner, I actually like to line with eyeshadow. I like to have soft lines. I can't do really harsh graphic liner. I mean, I can, but I found for me the most flattering is a little softer, and doing an eyeshadow liner beforehand really kind of softens everything. So I'm going to go into this dark brown, the sleek, same color I used before, pressing the brush down flat on top. And then I just get pretty close to my lashes. The other thing this does is really get right into the lashes, because sometimes, I don't know if it's just my eyes, but I tend to kind of miss little tiny bits of skin in between the lashes when I like do my liner, and it looks better to really have the lashes dark, the roots dark. So you can kind of see the difference here. And I kind of do above and below the lashes too. Like on the inner corner, I kind of stick to below the lashes and push the powder up into the lashes. And then when I get to the outer corner, I do both. And that really ensures that I worked the color all the way to the lash line. So now what I'll do is take, it doesn't really matter, just another brown, and just with a light hand, do a little under eye. It's basically meant to create an illusion of fuller lashes that create a harsher shadow, because the light that's shining down on your lashes, they're so thick and full that there's a shadow created. I have changed the shape a little bit since studying more pictures of stars from the 40s and 50s. So rather than just doing a little triangle outwards, I do like a line from about almost halfway, coming straight out to about there. I know, it looks crazy. It really does, but it won't. Okay, so now I'm gonna do liner. And I have been using Mr. Right. It's also the Balm liner. I really like this. It's the perfect, oh no, I'm already running out. No, I need to order more. It's the perfect black. It's not too bluish gray black. It's really pigmented and it's the right tone for me. And it doesn't run, it doesn't smudge. It's a really, really good pencil liner. I've kind of gravitated a little bit away from liquid liners. I don't know why. I think I just am preferring a slightly softer look lately. And I really, really like this liner. I've actually also been winging out less than I used to. I'm gonna stop about here, actually. This is one of those things that you really kind of have to play around and try to just look at your face almost as if they're shapes. If you kind of squint or like defocus your eyes a little bit, it's easier to kind of try to evaluate that. Sometimes, you know, we're told, oh, the winged liner, it's so vintage, it's so, technically it's more 50s and 40s, but you know, everybody kind of associates that. But just because that was really popular at the time, it doesn't mean that that's going to be the best shape for you personally. And I'm thinking the wing, a long wing, for me is just not great. And you know, that's okay. So I just kind of lightly do little light strokes. Pretty happy with that. So now what I'm gonna do is actually set my face. I've got this Clinique Moisture Surge face spray. It feels really nice. I don't know that it's really a makeup setting spray, but it says use over or under makeup, so I like to use it. It's very refreshing. Now I'm going to do my brows, and I use Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, and this stuff lasts a really long time. I like to go in one side and then over, like down and over. It keeps it fresher rather than just going right in the middle. And I just take a tiny bit and then I use the lid as like a palette, and a little goes a long way. So don't overdo it. I just kind of do like X's back and forth with the sides of the brush, kind of flatten it as much as possible and distribute the product. Because my brows don't need a ton of filling, so I kind of usually start maybe about here or so, somewhere where it's already pretty full. Because if I start here with that much product on, it might be too harsh. So it's best to kind of start out in the middle, just lightly draw, almost like hairs. And then work my way towards the center, and I'm just going to fill this in just a tiny bit right here. Again, I think my face type doesn't really do well with very graphic, harsh lines, so I had to keep stuff pretty soft. That I think is good. It just helps to define the brow a little bit more. And then again, you kind of want to squint and try to see, are they even or, you know, pretty close to being even? I think so. And now I'm going to do mascara. I don't have it with me, but my favorite trick, and I don't remember if I found this somewhere or if I just kind of like made it up myself. I feel like I made it up myself, but probably other people do this. But you take your curler, assuming it's the metal one, not a plastic one, and you run it under your hair dryer, in your hair dryer hot air, for about 5 seconds, and feel it, make sure it's not going to burn you, and it should be pretty warm. And you just curl your lashes. And my lashes are pretty curly naturally, so I don't have to do a whole lot, but if you have trouble with your eyelashes staying curled, try the heat trick. It really works, but just don't crunch them because you don't want it to go, you know, a right angle. I actually got this mascara on Amazon a while back, Cabaret Premier. I just ordered more. I love this mascara. It's, first of all, this kind of wand is like my favorite. It's a it's got the little like spikes on it, and the bristles aren't too long. It's kind of a drier formula, which I personally like, and it's really dark. It doesn't flake. Like, I love this mascara. I love this mascara because it doesn't clump up. And I guess you could say I do 2 coats, but it's so, the formula is so light that I don't even wait for the first coat to dry. I just go right in again and just try to get like the very tips of my lashes. Just make sure I really coated them. And then I put a tiny bit on the bottom, but not too much, because those lashes down there can get a little, I don't want to emphasize the bottom lashes too much, you know. All right. Now for the lips. Again, more balm products. I kind of like to change it up, but my favorite way to do my lips is by taking a darker nude, nudie kind of, I guess it's a dark nude. I don't know how else to describe it. It's sort of like a rosy nude, but this color is charming. Love it. It's gorgeous. And what I do is basically almost use this as a lip liner. Like, I only do the perimeter of my lips with this color, unless I want this my full lip color, and sometimes I do. But for my full looking lips, this is how I do those. So basically, I do overline just a tiny bit, not too much. You can also use a little lip brush, that helps too. So I don't fill in that part at all. And I do the same thing on the bottom. Actually tickles. Do that, and then before that dries completely, I take my lighter color, and I'm using Committed, also the Balm, and I scrape all the excess off of there. Just, you only want, you know, a little. And then I fill in the center and use the applicator to blend in those colors. This really helps give the illusion of fuller lips. I know Marilyn did a whole bunch of like lip contour before it was the thing. I'm sure a lot of stars did. They were so smart. They really treated makeup as almost like plastic surgery. Like, it wasn't so much of a formula, like, here's where you put your contour, here's where you do this, they really tailored each look specifically to that person. So the angles of things were very important. And I'm trying to do that for myself. It's a little difficult. So then, if I'm really feeling saucy, I like to put some gloss on, and that just makes it look even more. So I'm gonna use Plump Your Pucker. This color is Dramatize, I believe. Just like a nudie kind of gloss. I really like their glosses, at least these Plump Your Pucker ones, because they're not sticky. And I just put a little bit right in the center. I don't do the entire lips, just right in the center. They look fuller, I think. See, so the shadows down there, they don't look too crazy now, right? And I think with the hair, everything, it all comes together. Maybe I'm biased. I think we're ready for hair. And of course, I'm practically out of hairspray, so this could be interesting. If you are interested in a more detailed hair tutorial, including the haircut, then I will link that video up above, wherever it is, and you can watch that. I go into detail about my setting pattern, the haircut I give myself, and basically how to get a Marilyn inspired hairstyle. So I use the same rolling pattern in that I did last night. Everything is down except for the top, which is over. If you have a lot of hair, you might need to buy a couple of packs of rollers. I think I bought 2, especially when I had longer hair. I really needed 2 packs. Anyway, all right, so just run my fingers through this brush. Got some fitting to do. I'm gonna start working on the Jane play suit, and I have to make sure that the shorts are gonna fit me. So I've got some muslin fabric, wearable muslin hopefully, I'm gonna be working on just in a minute, as soon as I'm done with this. And then that will be a video too. And once I finish that, I will link that above. It always takes longer to do the brush out on a fresh set. Once it's been set, I do re-roll at night, unless I'm really lazy. I re-roll at night and that preserves it for probably 3 or 4 days. Try to go. And you don't have to keep using the setting lotion every time you re-roll. Sometimes if it's gotten a little flat throughout the day, I'll put a little bit of water, just a tiny bit of water, just to kind of dampen and smooth the curl ends, but most of the time I just re-roll. Let's see what I can do here. Again, I'm running really low on hairspray, so I'm gonna try to conserve. I just ordered some hairspray from Amazon. It's not Suavecita because I couldn't find it. I don't know if they took it off or what happened, but I'm gonna try this other hairspray. Just see what happens. I might go back to my Suavecita, but it's good to try new products sometimes. Ooh, volume. Looks like a wig. Oh goodness, okay. Interesting doing this in the camera and not in the mirror. I feel like I'm getting a much different experience. It's looking pretty good. I got some good volume last night actually, or today, whatever. Yeah, now this part just needs to be tamed. Okay, I'm liking this. Okay, yeah, that looks good. All right, I like the volume to be kind of here. Like, my eyes are, you know, going this direction, my brows. So the volume should be kind of there for me. If it's too low, it looks silly, and if it's too high, it looks silly. There's really a sweet spot, and you kind of have to find it for yourself. But for me, that's where that is. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna try to spray that if I can. Please have some. Okay, there's a little. As long as I can do the bangs, I'll be good. Okay. Whew. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. So yeah, let me know. It's pretty similar to my other look. I think this one is a little bit more, I don't know. I've been kind of refining my makeup look since I did the last version, and I'm really happy with how everything's looking. The lips, the eyes, the brows, the hair. I'm feeling myself, I have to say. Let me know if there's like a specific kind of look that you're interested in. I'm no makeup guru, but I think I could figure it out. So yeah, let me know. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Hope you have a great week, and bye.